Welcome everybody. It's really nice to have you all here for another event by Women in Business. We have with us today Marta, and she's going to talk about maximizing your authentic leadership presence. Marta is the founder of FEM, which is a result-driven, science-backed online coaching, and she's a passionate business coach. Her skills from 2000 plus hours as a psychosomatic therapist combined with her experience as a woman in leadership in venture capital and the insurance sector. Martha, thank you for joining us today. And before I hand it over to you, I would like to remind everybody that this session is recorded, and it would be absolutely lovely if you could turn on your cameras so that we could have a very interactive session. So looking forward to this one. Over to you, Marta.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you for the nice introduction. And hello, everybody. I'm really looking forward to the session. And yeah, feel also honored to be talking in front of WHU. Yeah, it's for me a moment where I can just talk to bright-minded, very talented people with courageous hearts and who dare to change the world. So yeah, I'm happy to share my lessons here today. And in the next 90 minutes today, you will learn and experience how to leverage your authentic leadership presence. And this helps you to get the job of your dreams, to build your reputation, to stay in control of what you radiate, and also stay really truthful and connected to your own center. And I will guide you through the whole science of it. First, before I embark on my presentation, I want to show you briefly the agenda that we are having today. So I will introduce myself, explain you why I'm standing here today, and also my journey, how I came to my situation working as a business coach right now. And then we will go into detail what leadership presence is, how the different aspects of fragments of how you act, how you speak, and how you look are, I will make them for you graspable, and we will also work on them directly. So this will not be only a lecture where I will be talking, but you will be working also on one short presentation of yourself, because leadership presence is about going into the practice and doing it. Yeah, and the more often you repeat it, the better you will get. So at the end, we will have leadership presence in action and also a Q&A where you can ask me everything you want. All right, and I will stop my screen for a moment. I was hoping to see some more faces. And yeah, I'm a business coach, consultant, and confidence trainer, and I love to empower people to succeed, especially in performance-driven environments, and help them to elevate their confidence and self-trust and also a positive outlook. And I study the effects of confidence in the work environment right now, every day, from the scientific perspective and also from the practical application of it. And I learn every day to be more confident myself, because when you work with a certain topic, it's not that, oh, I'm an expert and I have done it all and now I got it, but I am understanding it for myself every day deeper and deeper. And why am I on this journey? Because for me, it was coming from somehow a cloak of invisibility or of camouflage to boss present, what I have been in my career. And the journey brought me from my migration background. So I moved to Germany with my parents from Poland when I had been 3 years old. And when you are a foreigner in another country, most of you know that feeling, you are somehow the odd one out. Yeah, you are constantly working on being valued from the outside world. And what my parents told me, and maybe some people can relate, you have to work twice as hard as the others in order to advance in your life. And I know they wanted just the best for me, but that led me to a situation where I idealized others and constantly had the feeling that I am not good enough. Yeah, so I was the best in class, what comes out of an insecure overperformer and perfectionist, and I had to prove myself constantly. I studied political sciences, did a bachelor, did a master's degree, studied in France for a semester, learned to speak 5 languages fluently, did my internships. I did all the stuff that people expected me, or where I thought this is the route. But still, I did not felt this moment of fulfillment somehow. And then it happened in the last year of my master's degree that I felt this spark when I visited a course of body psychotherapy during my studies. And body psychotherapy was totally new to me, being a political scientist. So it's all about understanding that emotions that we feel, and we all have a multiple variety of emotions in our everyday life, we experience them in our body. And sometimes emotions get stuck in our body and you can work them through. So for example, you face a situation at work with your boss and you get triggered and remember an emotion of being helpless in school, for example, when you have been bullied. Yeah. And this is a moment where body psychotherapists love to work with you because it's about, interesting, this helplessness, it's stuck in the body. Come on, let's unleash it and go through the layers so that you can be the true you, the authentic you. And neuroscientists proven that mind, body, and our environment are connected. So when you are in a certain environment, your body is reacting to it, but also your body is reacting to the thoughts that you have. And I thought that all this science is super, super interesting and relevant, and I wanted to know more about it. So my parents said, we won't support you financially. We won't support you at all when you do a second master's degree. And my friends thought I'm crazy, just finished my 1 master doing a second master, but I had to do it. I had that urge to do it. Yeah. So facing myself heads on, I was working through my own emotional layers of anger, of solitude, of fear, and all that stuff. And suddenly there was joy. Suddenly there was this moment where I felt I could play like a kid and be silly and be freed from all that baggage. And I knew, okay, I have to go that road, work as a therapist for a while. I had good results. Yeah? It made me really fun to work with people who had depression, anxiety, eating disorders, psychosomatic diseases. What is psychosomatic disease? What is psychosomatic therapist doing? People come to the clinic when they had no other medical solutions to them. I had a patient who was fainting, just suddenly fainting while she was walking stairs, and it was dangerous. No medical proof for it while she was fainting. So she came to the psychosomatic clinic, and what we found out is that she was really afraid of facing situations in her life, especially when she was leaving school and going to the university and going to the next jobs. So the body reacts to the mind. And what I've done in my work is showing people this connection and helping them to deal with situations so that we don't react, but we have options. We are flexible. And this is what we want also from a leader, so that you have multiple options to go and you decide what is the best choice right now for my team, for the company. The twist in the story comes because I know that people, when they are in the clinic, they are at their worst and they go when they are good. So you only work with people who are at their worst. And I felt that I was not energized enough, and I wanted also to have something more in my life, something on a bigger scale with more impact. So I felt like I cannot continue. What can I do? I talked to a friend of mine who was a business consultant, and she said, what about insurance? Yeah, you can go into the insurance sector. And first of all, I was like, can I do that? Do they want me? These insecurities. But I got the job. So I was first leadership trainee, and then I was head of product development for health promotion in one of the biggest health insurances in Germany. And when I asked my boss, why did you give me the job? He said, because you are so confident, and I needed that in my team, because they hold themselves back too much. So when I started, I immediately got offered a project lead role. And this was really stressful because it was a nationwide campaign where I had to unite 10,000 employees behind a vision and manage a 7-digit budget, talking to C-level and vice presidents all the time. And it was totally new to me. And I had really to get my stuff together to manage it. But then when suddenly I had a situation where a woman bullied me inside the company, this was a moment where I thought, wait a moment, woman in leadership, why? I'm doing everything they expected me to do. Why am I getting bullied because I'm too confident, or what is happening here? So I had to stand up for myself, yeah, because I know otherwise I would be swallowed by the system. And it worked. Later on, we were friends, and I could continue my work as before. So I got great results, and I learned that I can navigate corporate life and stay true to myself. But, and here comes again the but, insurance sector, I felt this is too slow for me and also too conservative. I'm a more free-spirited person, so I wanted more speed. And yeah, I still could not fulfill my purpose. So I thought, what about startup space? You have also money, as the same as in the insurance space, but also you have innovation and people have drive. And this is the moment where I share my screen again, because I wanted to show you that. Yeah. So I had to thrive in this male-dominated environments. Yeah. And venture capital space, I don't know if any of you had been working there before, or if you know it, but there is no room for emotions or for belonging. It's just all about results. So you are fast-paced, you are working hard. I had been suddenly pitching to boards of all health insurances in Germany. I had connections to every executive assistant of the major health insurances. People from all over the world were reaching out to me. I felt in this moment, wow, this is really, I'm flying. Here is a powerful role and I have the range. Yeah? And you can get fueled by that feeling. But at the same time, in this tough environment, so I had to make conscious routines for my self-care, because I'm a sensitive and emotional person at the same time. And every day somehow felt like fighting. Yeah. So one evening, everything changed. I was watching a movie with my partner. Johnny Depp plays in it, and it's called The Professor. And in the story, Johnny Depp gets diagnosed with cancer, and he has 6 months left to live, and it's 4th stage cancer, so you cannot do anything. And he goes bananas. You know, he's taking drugs and talking to his students like, you only have one life, and time's short. What do you do to have impact and to live the life that you want to live? And this touched me somehow so deeply in my soul, because I felt like, I don't have much time left. I'm in my 30s. I know that my energy will decrease in my 40s and my 50s. So now I'm on the peak of my energy. I have no kids. What am I doing here? I have to live my purpose. And I went to my bosses and I told them, you know, I feel like I cannot do this anymore. They were like, okay, we agree, but please come back when you want to. I was like, okay. And stepping out of the system, I asked myself, why does it have to be like this? Yeah? Why do we have to fight to contribute our value to the corporate world? And how can I support other people like me who are holding themselves back so massively? And how can I support them with what I learned to speak up, to drive change, and so that more people can see the change they want to see in the world? So I started working as a business coach and built my business around helping people to fulfill their true potential in business with the time that we got. And now it's about transcending their stories, transcending the story of what you think you have to be, you know, what your parents told you, what society tells you, what media tells you, to find what uniquely your superpower is and what you want to do in your career. Because I sincerely believe that everybody has a unique superpower, and when you come to the point where you are in love with that superpower, magic is possible, yeah, and magic happens. So I empower my clients right now like a beer mother, and it's all about them and their goals and dealing with others, with their bosses, with their teammates, because I know that you can connect better to other people when you have a good connection to yourself, and then you have the ripple effect. And my work is really no fluff, because it's all about, we don't have that much time left. I don't want to lose time, so we go straightly there where it hurts, and you have to go through it, because then you can advance and grow over it. Yeah. And this is the moment of changing the system from the inside out. And right now I'm focusing solely on women, but I see definitely the need also to support men in the same journey. And there are men reaching out to me, but it's right now first I want to go impact driven on the more vulnerable groups and then advance into the other groups. Yeah. So right now it's all about empowering women to create a world in which everybody has equal leadership opportunities, independently of social, ethnical background, of your sexual identity and all that. And with the clients I work with, and I work B2C and B2B, I see that there's a solidarity for this cultural change at management level right now. Yeah? And you know the numbers that gender diversity in leadership teams is supporting. Not only it's reducing the carbon footprint, interestingly, but it's also maximizing turnover and profit. Yeah? So now I'm through the introduction, and I had to tell you the story because it belongs for me, everything belongs together. So very often the question is, how can I become more visible? How can I be this magnetic, charismatic leader that people want to follow? How can I build resilience for myself and lower stress and advance despite challenges? And like probably you, all of you, my clients hustle a lot because they want to advance in their career, but also they experience imposter, or high mental load. And what's interesting is that there are those incredible tools from psychotherapy that apply directly there where leadership literature ends. And I will show you what I mean. Because to understand the essence of career growth, the Center of Talent Innovation, this is a nonprofit research organization in New York. They surveyed 4,000 leaders in major corporations across ethnicity, across the globe. And interestingly, 66% of surveyed said that the key to career growth is leadership presence. And leadership presence is not about performance. It's not about if you hit the numbers, if you diligently do your homework, but it's a skill and it's a set of learned behaviors that enable you to command attention. And it's a mandatory skill set. It's a vital leadership characteristic that also sets you apart from competition. But you have to get 3 elements right. And those 3 elements are how you act, how you speak, and how you look. And we will dive into each one of them. And interestingly, look at the numbers, because this is what is for me the most astonishing. 67% how you act, 28% how you speak, and 5% of how you look. This goes now again to all the women out there. It's not about the looks, it's not about the appearance. It helps, but we should reduce our time we invest in it to 5%. And when you get those 3 together, your confidence grows as well, and also your visibility and your value. But now comes again the but. Those what other people see of you, the leadership presence, this is the tip of the iceberg, because you are much more of that. You are also confronted with your history, with your fears, with emotions, with failure. Belongs to life. We are humans. And this tip of the iceberg, this is what you project to the outside world. This is what other people see of you. And when you think of politicians, when you think of CEOs, celebrities, whatever, you only see a really precisely crafted picture of what you show to others. And leadership presence at the end is what you see above this waterline. So what helps us to come closer to this is when you align your strengths with your vision of what you want to be. Because when I ask them, how do you want to be perceived? What are your goals? What is your aspiration for your best self? Usually I have a big question marks in their faces because they never ask themselves what they want to project, because they always followed the route that other people told them, or that where they thought, oh, I do this and then it happens. So it's understanding what you want to have, and then you can work on this gravitas, because in the research they focus and underline this gravitas is causing feelings of respect and trust in others, and this is what is the essence of how you act. And I would like to ask you right now, what do you associate with gravitas? What is for you a leader who is exuding this ability to command the room? And maybe feel free to put it in the chat.
Somebody who knows the way or how to lead a team. Something that came up from the back of my head.
Somebody who knows how to lead a team. Also, I see empathy in the chart in the chat.
Fortune, go ahead. I think possibly somebody, where you know that you will be able to learn a lot from this person, like a kind of they say like, if you ask somebody to be your mentor, that person is the wrong person, but if you see somebody, you know exactly this is somebody I can learn a lot from my personal experience.
Also interesting. Also in the chat, authentic, positivity, empowerment, honesty, yes, availability, equality. I will unleash it or uncover it. So according to senior leaders, they gave them a choice of 50 different traits. And what scored highest across ethnicity, like I said, and across gender, 77%, to be calm and confident, to exude this grace under fire. Grace under fire, what does it mean? It means when there's really a lot of messy stuff going on, you rest calm. When shit hits the fan, you stay cool. Confidence that is calm and exuding grace under fire. Number 2, decisiveness, showing your teeth. Number 3, integrity and speaking truth. Number 4, emotional intelligence. And this is rising. No? And number 5, vision, having a vision and having charisma. And since what scored highest is this calm confidence, I want to emphasize it and go deeper here. And this is where leadership literature ends and psychotherapy starts. Because what is the confidence code? How do we build our confidence? Yeah? To stay calm, to know our strengths. And what I have put in here is the code to build it. Yeah? Because it's reducing your self-censorship, reducing your self-punishment, and narrow-mindedness. And interestingly, there had been a lot of research going on the topic of self-esteem since the 70s. And what they found out that practicing self-kindness and self-compassion is growing your self-esteem much, much higher than saying to your kids, for example, great job, you're the best. Yeah? I want to dive a little bit deeper on it. And this is now deep dive into the topics. So to master your self-confidence, it's all about mastering your inner game or mastering your self-talk. And you see on the charts, I wanted to differentiate a little bit self-confidence and self-esteem. So when you are confident, you trust in yourself. You trust in your ability to engage successfully or at least adequately with the world. You know your skills, you remember the challenges that you have overcome. Self-esteem, on the other hand, knowing your worth, the German word Selbstachtung. I am a good person, I'm a valuable person, I am liked, I respect myself and make sure that I am respected by others. I take care how other people treat me and I don't let other people treat me like, And interestingly, you can, for example, know that you're a good student and come across that you overcome challenges, but you also can feel that you are not good enough. So confidence goes not necessarily together with self-esteem. Yeah. This is where imposter hits in. I know I can do my job, and the highest rated female executives, 74% report that they experienced imposter in their life of it wasn't me, it was just a coincidence, I had just good luck. And claiming your achievements is something that is a muscle. Yeah? It's a muscle that we grow, and it may feel strange at the beginning, but it's a practice. Because we have Right, there's a question in the chat. Would you say self-esteem is a required basis for self-confidence? Absolutely, yes. 100%, because it belongs together. When I work with my clients, I also ask them in the later phases of our working together about their negative automatic beliefs. Negative automatic beliefs is what just happens autonomously. It's like you are in front briefly before a relevant presentation, and you take a sip of water or coffee, and you spill a little drop or more over your shirt. Yeah, and then you may think, oh, I'm a failure. How can that happen to me? I'm an idiot. I'm a loser. Those are negative automatic thoughts. Yeah. And maybe you know them because this happens to all of us. And now I would ask you, do you want to work with that person who thinks like that over him or herself? Would you like to work with that person who thinks of him or herself, I'm an idiot? And when since I'm in this topic, when I talk also to my friends and I catch one of them saying something negative about themselves, I say usually, stop saying that. Don't be so mean to my friend. Stop immediately saying that, because this is what you do then is practicing your negative mental muscle. And we want to practice that self-confidence muscle. So when you are aware of what is happening in your head, suddenly you have a choice. Yeah? Because you realize, this is happening in my head. Do I want that? Yes or no? And then you can choose how you want to behave. Do you want to be maybe take an alternative perspective, of a positive perspective or a neutral perspective? So saying, I'm not a failure because I have a drop of coffee on my shirt. Appearance matters only 5%. There are more important things than that. For example, this would be a neutral perspective. Or what I sometimes think is, what a pleasant surprise of life. Thank you for reminding me to relax. Yeah, just laughing about it because it's showing me that I'm obviously under tension, and that's why this happened. And what is strongly recommended is talking compassionately to yourself. Yeah? So when the negative thought happens, you give it a counter voice, a helpful, kind counter voice. I am not a failure. I am just a little nervous, and this is human. Yeah? And then you have this angel and devil on your shoulders, yeah? The good and the bad side. And they are in this constant dialogue. But you choose to whom you give the stage. Yeah? And on what voice inside of you put the spotlight on. And what I work through with my clients is to put the spotlight on your strengths. And this may feel a little strange at the beginning, but you train it. And the more and more you train it, the more and more you get used to it. And then ask yourself again, what kind of person would you like to work with? And who is causing feelings of respect and trust in you? And now taking also someone more famous than me into that perspective, Christine Lagarde. I'm just reading this book, The Confidence Code, and she said in an interview that there are moments where she has to go deep inside herself and pull her strengths, confidence, background, history, and experience out to assert a certain point. Yeah? So this is what people do. And it's normal. You remind yourself of what you have accomplished. And this gives you the strength to assert a certain point and to go forward. And this is the secret about confidence at the end. And why does that matter at the workplace? Now also giving you here some details. Yes, women rate less confident and have a lower self-esteem than men. But also when we see the figures, when you see that we are on 50% and we grow constantly until we are 61 or older, I ask myself, cannot we go higher right now? Yeah? Why do we have to wait so long to grow confident or grow our self-esteem? Of course, you get calmer with the age and with the years, but we can support that with psychology. So just to make it clear, the right-hand side is a systematic cross-cultural examination of gender and age differences in self-esteem. And self-confidence, right-hand side, this is a precondition for leadership roles. Yeah? And people say also that confidence matters more than competence. And this is the part where leadership presence, where we see the connection to leadership presence. And employees with a healthy level of self-esteem are typically able to focus better. They need less time off. They are open to growth experiences. The growth mindset here again, have heard of that. And having a high level of self-esteem also enables you to create more effective interpersonal and work relationships. And for leaders, high levels of self-esteem mean that we are able to focus more positively on other people and their development rather than berating on our own performance. So we can train that. And I made this picture because for me it makes it really, really clear, and I want to explain it to you. When you are on the left hand, when you are the left-hand person, you have a low confidence. You think constantly that other people know, and that other people are more important than you, they know more, they have experienced more. Who am I? The person in the middle, I know. Yes, I may fail. This will happen. Yeah? Maybe other people have other opinions, but what matters is that you learn to trust in yourself and to embrace this moment where you know things. Yeah? And this enables you and helps you to go forward, to push forward, to take advantage of challenges, to grasp the moment, and some person offers you a bigger role and you're not sure if you can do it, but you do it and you go forward. And also, of course, there are situations here, right hand side, nobody knows. This is the moment of embracing the unknown or making room for the unknown. There are certain situations where nobody knows, yeah? And we have to accept that. But still, what I can do is to play my part and do my best to show my strengths and to go into the game. And that does not mean to be ignorant and to be narrow-minded. This is why I included this open-mindedness in the summary of confidence. And the Confidence Code book summarizes when there's one thing that you take out of this book, now you don't have to read it because I can tell it to you. When in doubt, act. When in doubt, act. Do it. Go forward. Because the moment where you think about it, if it's okay to say that, if it's okay to ask that, if it's okay to do that, time goes by. Over. Done. Yeah. This is why sports are so helpful also to grow into confidence, because there you have to go just and do it. Okay, now I have talked a lot. We will go into the first exercise to understand what you stand for, what your values are, what your vision is, and what you love doing. You will bring attention to the value you provide. Yeah? You will have from now on 10 minutes. I will explain the exercise. You can ask questions, and then we will start the timer. Yeah? You will have 10 minutes to prepare an introduction that takes about the same time as an elevator ride, and that lets others know who are you, what do you love doing, and how do you impact your company's or your group's bottom line. So giving you an example, I'm a business coach, consultant, and confidence trainer. I love to empower people. I love to empower top talent to succeed in performance-driven environments. And I'm fortunate to influence my clients' bottom line by reliably guiding them to adopt new perspectives and try out new behaviors to advance in their career. Some people left. This is always when you get an exercise, but I don't know. Are there any questions to that? Because this is your pitch that you can later on, we will practice it, and you can use it then for every networking event you will be in the next year. Yeah, so this will be helpful for you. No questions?
All clear.
Okay, so I would say we're taking 10 minutes from now on until 7:17.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I see you back then.
You'll send us into the breakout rooms, or who's sending us?
We were talking about breakout rooms before, but for this exercise, this is for everyone individually. We will go into the breakout sessions in the next exercise. So this round is just for everyone on his or her own. Okay, so come closely to an end. We will use that notes in the next stage. And for the last few seconds, I just thought, just in the break, about, is the question that Valentina asked in the chat, is self-esteem a required basis for self-confidence? And why have I said absolutely yes? It's because when you don't have the self-esteem, self-confidence can be fake, yeah, or empty. And you can perform and show everybody, oh, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, but still feel empty inside because there's no self-esteem filling you up from the inside. This is why, from my perspective, it's essential. Okay. I hope everybody's done so that we can continue to the next level. Continue to the next level. We said that leadership presence is 76% of it is how you act. And I was underlining confidence. Now we go into this 28% of how you speak. And just some basics, yeah. Because this is more also a thing, the same like with confidence, you train it. How you speak, you train it as well. To speak loud enough, to speak clear instead of poorly structured, not mumbling around or talking too many words for too little content, you know, comes please straight to the point and be very, very brief and sharp. And this is the CEO language, you know, we don't have time for more. Credible, stay incredible with what you say, because people like people who are credible and trustworthy, yeah? And people like to work with people who are trustworthy. And also confident speech. And why is confidence coming again here in this speaking part? I want to explain you. I would just like to say that I may not know as much as some of the communication experts out there, but I feel that women undermine their credibility time and time again by using minimizing language. I am sorry when you think differently. I am just trying to make a small point here. This is an example of minimizing language. Staying small and keeping it small, because where is it coming from? When people like you because you are cute, when people like you because you are sweet, you may think, this is the way how people like me. But in the business world, it's more important to be respected than to be liked. Yeah? And this is an important lecture that I'm giving time and time again. Because we can deal with people who bully us. We can learn to step up to them and confront them and clear the situation. And then you get the respect and you gain the respect. So what would I recommend? I am convinced that women undermine their credibility time and time again by using minimizing language. I am confident that this will change through appropriate educational content, because I'm optimistic that every woman can adapt these techniques easily. I will do my best to accompany you on this transformational journey. So what is different? Probably clear. No? And this happens unconsciously. And when you have good friends with whom you talk a lot and you realize that you have an issue with that minimizing language, make them your allies and tell them, please, when you realize that I'm using the minimizing language, tell me, because I want to train to stop it. Yeah? Lately, I was sitting in the public transportation going from Berlin to Hamburg, and I was sitting on a reserved seat, and a couple came and said, oh, this is my seat. And I'm like, okay, I will look for another one. And the woman was constantly saying sorry to me. And constantly, and I was almost saying to her, please stop saying sorry. I was sitting on your seat. You don't have to excuse me. But this happens, yeah, and it's unconscious. So make it conscious.
I was about to say the same. You just took it from me that these don'ts, yeah, on the left-hand side, we just have them, and we have difficulties to get rid of them. And we have to be so conscious of how we articulate, how we word. It's a constant exercise. Yeah, you have to correct yourself every time. Okay, I do not say the left hand side. I say the green part. Yeah, it's a work. It's a work there. Wow.
Yeah, it's some work. That's true. And I'm keeping that part short because it's about your practice. Yeah. And before we go into the exercise, I want to show you a little hack that I'm using in my coachings to slow it down for you. Because when we are excited, when we are about to speak about something, and fear of public speaking is very, very common, your body gets stressed. And when your body gets stressed, you get into the fight, flight, or freeze mode, the sympathetic nervous system. And this is not helpful when you want to impress. This is maybe the dominant side of, here, now I'm talking and nobody else, but this is rather causing fear in people you are talking to, and it's an old-fashioned leadership style. We don't need that anymore. And nose breathing is helping you to lower the temper down when you are in any emotional, agitated situation. Yeah? And here is also the scientific explanation for you. So pure nasal breathing, on the one hand, lowers blood pressure, it improves digestion, and it regulates the heart rate. And slow breathing increases blood circulation, energy, endurance, and provides inner peace. And then we are in the parasympathetic nervous system. And the normal breathing amplitude is about 18 breaths per minute. For all of those who are tracking themselves, you probably know your number, but we want to come down to 5 to 6 breaths per minute. And you can do that consciously, and then you are using a hack to calm yourself down. And your breath, you can control your breath. And then you can control your heart rate. Okay, so we practice it together for a short moment. We breathe in for 5 and we exhale for 5, and I will count you through. Exhale all of your breath, and we inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is long. This is really, really long. But use this in front of an important presentation. You can also use it when you have trouble sleeping, falling asleep. But then it's even more helpful to elongate the exhale, to make it longer than the inhale. And then you can exhale for 7 or for 8 and inhale for 5 or for 4. Okay. And now, since everybody is calmed down, we go into the breakout sessions. And you will practice your introduction that you just prepared. And since you are talking now to another person, you can make sure to give your feedback also on what we just learned about minimizing language, because it's about getting better and better all the time. And we have 5 minutes per person. So one person introduces him or herself for that elevator ride. Who are you? What do you love doing? How do you impact the companies or your study group's bottom line? And then you will receive feedback from the other person who was listening. And keep that feedback helpful. And yeah, you know the rules of feedback probably. I trust you. Then we go into the other person's shoes. Yeah, you have 5 minutes in the other person is introducing him or herself and receives feedback. Any questions on that?
I think it's all clear. You'll get us back to the main room after the breakout rooms, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have 10 minutes starting now. Irina, I can put you in a room.
Yes, please. Thank you.
And Benji, you also want to go into a room? Because I cannot put you in one somehow. I don't know why. I don't hear you. Unmute. You have to unmute yourself first.
Yeah, I will just join the room, maybe because I'm the host. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You can go into room 4 or in room 6.
Yeah.
That was a very short time frame.
This was just my question. If do you need more time?
I mean, we already stopped, the breakout sessions, so.
I can start them again. It's no problem. Anyone else wants to have some more time? No. Okay. Okay. We will continue. Also, looking at the time, time's running fast somehow. Okay. You see my presentation again, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the last part of leadership presence, how you look. And since it's 5%, I really want to emphasize you to reduce time and stress about it to a minimum. Yeah, because especially women can get to stress too much about it. And why? Because of our socialization, because society telling you all the time that you are successful when you look pretty. But what is success for you? Yeah, that's a question. And still to thrive in a corporate position, in a leadership position, people see you, yeah, and people look at you, and They will judge you if you want or not. Yeah. But we can reduce friction. This is how I like to call it, friction about it to a minimum. And there are just some basic things that you can do. Yeah. When people love to take care about their clothes, please continue to do it. But when you are one of the persons to whom it is more stressful, just get a stylist who tells you these are the colors that suit you, these are the shapes that suit your body, because everybody has a different shape and there are different styles that suit you. And then get just a capsule of wardrobes that you can mix and match, and they will always fit. Yeah. So that you can just open the wardrobe in the morning and get out 3 things that you want to wear and don't think over it more. Yeah. And never go into that trap of redressing or whatever. And also about makeup and hair, make it the leanest and the simplest for you as possible, so that you can focus on the more important tasks in your career. And these are just some images what I thought are helpful. So one thing, dress for your own workplace. Yeah, there are some rules probably wherever you are. There are environments where you can be more free. There are environments who are more conservative. And at the beginning, I would always adapt, and then you can freestyle when people know you, when you know people, and show your own individuality and accessorize stuff. But one important thing, don't overdress relative to the boss. And this is for men and women. Yeah. So when you are the boss, you can dress however you want to dress, but yeah, it somehow just helps to reduce friction. And I know there are people who are very free spirited, free minded. I'm a person like that too. But it's all about what is important now, what is relevant here. And this definitely isn't. But what I want to recommend to you is to mirror strong body language. And this is, I see, Julia, your face. A great image that I found online. And we have the tendency to unconsciously complement body language. And of course, here in the virtual setting, it's not that relevant how I would work with you in an offline setting. Because you feel it inside of your body when somebody is very strong and making big moves, taking up space, and when a person is narrowing the body down and, crossing arms, crossing legs, and pulling the shoulders up. So what you can do when you want to advance into a responsible leadership role, also to take up space. And like I said from in the beginning, what we know from neurosciences, when your body goes into a certain attitude, into a certain position, your brain follows. But these are the 5%. And the 67% are what you feel inside. Because of course you can fake it with a strong body language, but at the end, whatever you wear or however you position yourself, people will look through you, yeah, and they will know if there is substance inside of you or not. And this is why it's always more important to do the inner work than the outer work. This is just the top of the cherry on the cake at the end. Yeah. We are running out of time, and the group is getting smaller and smaller. This is why I will skip the last breakout because we don't need it right now. I will just summarize and then also give the stage to you for, maybe a person wants to show us your pitch. The summary, the formula of leadership presence, how I define it with all the research that I've done. 67% is action. And what is helping you to master your self-talk, how you talk to yourself, and emphasize on your strengths, work on your strengths, to know exactly what you can do and what you have accomplished. When you have never done that before, I recommend doing like a journal time. Yeah, take like 4 weeks where you write down what you have accomplished in a day at the end of the day. And when it's too much for you, you can write it down at the end of the week. For me, it's better daily. And because there are days where you work, but still you don't feel like you see results. And then you go deep inside and check, what have I accomplished really today? And you write it down, really write it down, not only thinking, we need to see it. And you can do it in your computer or in a journal. And then you grow your confidence through it, because you see, oh, I accomplished things, cool. Yeah? And I see the results. Master your self-talk. 28% communication. Try to speak with confidence and don't go crazy when you say sorry or when you say, I also am not perfect in saying it, but I do my best. Yeah, we do our best, and then we practice self-kindness because we are human. Appearance, mirror strong body language. This is the sum up also with the percentage, what is very important. Okay. I want to give the opportunity. If somebody wants to take it, it's up to you for the big stage. Is anybody in the room who wants to give us your introduction in the elevator ride and receive feedback from the group and use the collective intelligence of all of us?
Any volunteers out there? Everybody says so scared.
It's a safe space.
Safe space, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do
Maybe
here.
I can try if nobody volunteer.
Yeah,
Thank you.
go ahead.
I'm a healthcare researcher focused on gene and cell therapy. I love research and development on medicines to improve and extend people's life. I will impact my company by building up efficient teams and catching up the most advanced technologies to get the company be advanced in the research and development field. Yeah, so.
Great. Thanks. Any feedback from the group?
I think I have a feeling that Benji received a lot of feedback, and I think we had this in our group as well, that with the third time, with the third page, we were very, very conscious of how we say and what we say. So like until now I was sitting and was trying to pick up these words that don'ts, but I couldn't find anything. I could not find anything, to be honest. Maybe Valentina heard something.
No, I have a positive feedback. I thought it was like a powerful, I will impact my company by blah, 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 blah. You could tell that you were like very focusing on it.
Yeah, in my breakout room, I was thinking, like I said, I feel I can't impact my company because it's a giant one, and I'm like, anyone can replace me. But yeah, then I formalize this, and it's like this.
But you see that there's the negative self-talk, right?
Yeah.
So and it's you where you put the spotlight on what part?
Yeah.
So if in my group, we were talking about maybe like when Wenji mentioned that, I mean, it wasn't coming from a context of replaceability, but like we knew what we are good at and what we can bring to the table. Doesn't necessarily mean, obviously anybody could be replaced, but we were like talking about our skills and, you know, what we could bring on to the table that could help the company.
Yeah.
And that's how we went about the third part of the presentation.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, and I mean, this is giving you then tremendous power, because the more often you practice it, Valentina, I saw you, just let me finish the one. The more often you practice it and repeat it, the stronger you will get into it. And it is just a practice, it's a muscle again that you are building, and you will see how people react to you. And when you present yourself strong, you get strong, seen as a strong person. And this is the leadership presence part. This is the magic. This is the secret. Valentina, yes, please, or anybody else?
Yeah, we just had a question that we couldn't solve in our breakout room, because we noticed that some of us, they said, to be honest. So then we didn't know if that was like a weakening statement as well, you know, to say like, to be honest, I did a good job doing like it kind of weakens. We thought it might weaken whichever statement you use it in, but maybe like I would be curious what everybody else thinks, if it's like a strengthener or a weakener of the statement.
Okay, I will take this. I think you can leave it out. Just erase.
Yeah, I also believe that these are just fillers that in our speech. So we want to sound confident. We just use the action words, verbs straight away without further ado. But you know what? Since Jessica wrote, I nominate as friend. I'm sorry, don't know your first name.
Yeah, sorry, that's Stacy. I didn't rename myself.
No worries. Stacy, do you mind sharing your
elevator pitch?
Your pitch, because I'm curious now.
I'm surprised Jessica like put me that way forward. I can. My name is Stacy. I just finished my master in science in Founder, so I didn't do the MBA in Düsseldorf. I am starting on Monday a full-time position in project management in a startup in Berlin, and I'm very happy about it. I love working with teams, going together like in a purpose-driven teams where we go and push forward to the same goal. I like listening to my team members and motivating, keeping like the team together and listening to what they have to say, and then also giving feedback and also receiving feedback, because that is also very important, and I'm not perfect. So that is also, you know, in having a growth mindset is super important. And what I can bring to the table is, you know, positivity and open-mindedness, and also furthering this feedback of inclusion and cohesiveness in my team. And that's what I'm looking forward to bringing to or experiencing in my future team.
Congratulations on your job.
Thank you.
Okay, good job. Yeah, I know it's tough to speak in front of the whole group. Thank you for daring. I liked it. One minor feedback: you could do it shorter. So you had in the middle a part where you were a little bit of, oh, I do this and I do this, and I know it's not perfect. And when you are in the elevator, this would be the moment where I would be like, what is she trying to tell me? So this is my value I provide. I'm the cohesive element in teams.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, cool. Yeah, but you will get into it when you practice it. And I really like that you pointed out your strengths.
Thank you. I have a short question, if I'm already talking. Where did you, or what's the source of, you know, earlier you talked about these 50 different characteristics leaders had to choose between what they value in leadership presence. What's the source?
I will share the screen because this is where I wanted to go anyway. Oh. I mean, we anyway got time for the Q&A. This is the source. Yeah. So you have the video of Sylvia Ann Havlett, who led the research on executive presence with those interviews for the Center of Talent Innovation, what I was talking about. There you have really in depth the whole study. She leads through it, she explains it, and you can watch it while you are cooking or whatever. And the book, this I recommend strongly. There is now a recording of it online. Nice girls don't get the corner office, and it also applies to men, not only for female, but Leslie Frankel, it's a management consultant in the States, and she summarizes brilliantly common mistakes that we do when we minimize ourselves, when we focus too much on being perfect, on doing diligently our work. So when you want to go the fast track, read that book. So I have done this and applied all of her techniques when I was working in health insurance, and it worked.
All right, thank you very much. I didn't want to interrupt others, like from the feedback side, or if they wanted to do also the elevator pitch. I would be very interested in hearing Irina's talk, but that's just my take.
My talk? Okay, so yeah, I will start. I didn't write anything, so I will be spontaneous like I was with Julia and Valentina. And if I'm also talking regarding, to be honest, what Valentina said, it's my phrase. So unfortunately, I'm using sometimes too often. So yeah, hi everyone, I'm Irina. I was part-time MBA 2021. And I have 12 years experience in finance in several industries. I worked in pharmaceutical, in automotive, energy, transportation, and so on. Now I changed my career and my industry to consulting. So now I'm working at SIP, and always always I am believing that my impact in the company, in the former companies, but also in the current company, is that I like very much to focus on the mentorship. I am proud to say that I helped a lot of peers, colleagues to develop their career and to discover in what direction they want to go. I am a person of taking the risk in careers. So is life, it's matter of choice. So you need to take to make a choice to can take a chance. That's why I also changed several times the industries, and also now from being team leader to go in consulting. And yeah, this is from my side. Thank you.
Applause, applause. Thank you so much for daring to speak up here in this round. I liked everything you said. One comment from my side. You had, how are you feeling in your body? How are you breathing?
Yes, at the beginning I always have yeah, emotions, angst, and then I need 2-3 minutes, and then I am going in the normal way. But it's I cannot change. I tried, and a lot of time to change, to be, you know, in front of the scene, and then to make trainings as well. And at the beginning I have attention, and then I'm normal. So I need a little bit time probably to get used with the audience. I was worst in the past, so I was forgetting my words, and always I like to be spontaneous, so I don't like to read. But yeah, I know this is a kind of weakness from my side at the beginning of briefing, and
this will, when you work on it, this will change definitely. Yeah. So
thank you so much for your feedback.
Looking at the time, Xi Huan, you want to give us a pitch too? You were nominated by Jessica.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. My name is Xi Chuan Wu. I come from China. I've been in Germany for 12 years. I have a technical background in IT industry. Now I'm pursuing my MBA study. So this is my strength, that I can understand the technical details and all the technical process. At the same time, I love to talking to people and communicate with people. And another point is, of course, as a native Chinese, and I can also contribute to the cultural or economic exchange between China and Germany. And yeah, what I'm currently working as a service manager is also use my skills or strengths to that. On the one hand, I collect all the business requirements from the business departments, and I translate them in such a language that the development team can understand, so that this very important connection in between is established by me. So our company is going through a journey of digitalization transformation. I think that's exactly where I can contribute, and so navigate the company to a successful digital transformation. Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you. Yeah, I like the
Feedback
last
welcomed.
No, I had been going first. I think everybody waits for me first, or anybody else wants to go first.
The same feeling, she like very thought through, like the way you talked, no rush, calm, like I could feel that you know what you want to say. Once again, I'm being picky in the end. Maybe instead of saying I can contribute, more stronger verb like I will contribute. Like, if this is Marta, I don't know, help me out. If this also, if we say,
so.
okay, we
Definitely.
are deleting every doubtful verb out of our vocabulary and using only the strong ones.
This will happen, but you know that you said it yourself. Don't you get picky over the word? But it was helpful, I think, for Xiwan.
Yeah.
When you talk now, I feel more energy when you are talking. So I think that you were also, just like Stacey, the same, under pressure a little bit in this situation, talking in front of the group, and it was a little bit. I felt that you hold back to keep it calm, yeah, in order to create more. And this is a cultural thing, yeah, depending on the in the cultural context you are in. When you are then more in an American or a live surrounding in a company, then I would definitely go more forward into a more emotional tone of voice. No, you know what I'm talking about. But this is depending on the cultural context. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the hint.
All right, coming to an end. We can make it a couple of minutes longer when you want to. I just want to put in here into the chat my links that I wanted to share with you anyway. Because when you want to follow me on LinkedIn, or also send a request so that I can follow you too. When you want a coaching, here's the link for the get in touch to book an appointment, or when you are just interested in what I'm doing, follow my newsletter that I did not finish yet, and it didn't start it yet. I'm just collecting emails, and you can always drop out when you want to. But I want to give the stage for some last questions, comments, feedbacks. Thank you, Shifa.
Sorry about the mistypo.
I see. No, it's okay. Hope you liked the session.
It was really good. We're collecting the links, collecting the links to keep in touch. I liked it. It's never ending learning. I think we did some pitches during our other courses, but every time it's something different. So today your exercises were not somehow completely different. So, and every time we learn, and when every time I think, okay, I've pitched already, but every time there is something to improve and be better, definitely.
Yeah, totally. I forgot one thing to add. You can record yourself on every smartphone. You have a recording app, and you just record yourself and listen to your voice, and then you see what you want to improve. And when the negativity hits in, you say, okay, calm down, be self-kind, repeat until you are confident with your own performance. It's like an actor. It's not doing anything else than rehearsing until they are confident.
Super.
Yeah, drop off, Jiquan. Have a nice evening, you too.
Thank you, Chi.
Hi, everyone. Before we leave, do you mind staying for a screenshot?
Oh, please go ahead.
Yes. Let me just screenshot it. Just hold on.
After Jessica nominated everybody, now she
Yes.
wants
Oh,
screenshot.
Sichuan has left. Okay, it's okay then. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Another one. Okay. So thank you so much, Martha. Sorry, I just switched on my camera right now. But
Now
I
I see your
really
face.
enjoyed talking to you and listening to you. And thank you, Stacy, for sharing.
Are you also going to share now?
No, I'm done. I've shared mine with Martha and I've received my feedback. Okay, thank you so much. Hope to see you all again soon. Thank you, Martha. Thanks a lot.
you.
We all really enjoyed the session tonight.
Cool. I enjoyed it too. It was so much fun talking to you, working with you. And yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Marta. Thank you for being there. Let's keep in touch. Yeah, definitely. We see each other in contact. And if we have questions, we know how to reach you.
Yeah, exactly. And also when you think about doing something in life, because then we have much more impact. Just, yeah, keep in touch. Cool.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. Have a wonderful evening.
Have a good first day at work, Stacy.
Thank you
With your
so
elevator
much.
pitch.
Yes.
I will.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.